Hey everybody, guess what day is today? It's the Surface Pro 3 launch day. So we're gonna do a little bit of unboxing and see what we find. Alright, first of all, let's start opening this thing. Alright. And here we go. Surface Pro 3. It's a very nice light device. Feels very good in the hand, regardless of which direction you're holding. And we've got a traditional manual with a battery, most likely for the pan. I kind of had a chance to look at the Surface Pro at the Microsoft store, and I was hoping it would come with a couple of extra tips, but I guess they're not there, at least not here. So that's a bit disappointing. And this should probably be the power adapter. Yeah, so here we are. Surface Pro 3 unboxed with the pan, with no extra tips, power adapter, and that's pretty much it. And let's open the power, the type cover, and here we go. We can just unwrap it. I don't need the knife after all. Feels pretty nice, and it's got this nice little Surface text here. Looks really nice actually, and the thickness is amazingly small. And that's it. Next we're gonna do a little bit of a review and some comparison. So just to go over the hardware a little bit, here's the power button, microphone, camera, 5 megapixel on the front, 5 megapixel on the back. It's got a 1.9 Core i5 processor, headphone jack, volume rocker. It's got the display port and a USB 3 and a power adapter slot. It's got the micro SD slot here. Should be capable of supporting the latest 128 gigabyte cards, so should be pretty good. Screen's 12-inch, and the battery life is supposedly around 9 hours. So here's the Surface Pro 3 against MacBook Air 13.3 inch. That's the machine that Microsoft really pitched us against at the launch event. And you know, at the end of the day, the thickness, if you do a comparison, is fairly similar at its thickest point. Surface Pro is probably a little bit thinner, but with the attached keyboard type cover, it's pretty much about the same. If you do a weight comparison, MacBook Air suddenly becomes a lot heavier by comparison, even though MacBook Air is very light compared to a lot of the devices out there. With regards to the ports availability, it's essentially the same, with the exception of one extra USB port on the MacBook Air relative to the Surface Pro 3. Doing a quick comparison on the keyboard depth is pretty much about the same. The spread is also about the same, really. The key sizes are a bit bigger on the Surface Pro 3 without the gaps in between. Both of them should lit up. The angle of the keyboard, you know, it's pretty good on the MacBook Air, and with the adjustability of either having the magnet attached or not attached, gave Surface Pro the slight flexibility in the angle. Some people have complained about the flex of the keyboard itself when using in the magnetic mode and you're typing down really hard. Really, when I was playing around with it yesterday at the Microsoft Store, I really did not experience it at all. I don't suppose I'll experience it with my own device either, unless you're one of those people who really likes to jump on their keyboards in a very brutish way, back in the days of old typewriters. Unless you type that way, you should be fine. The trackpad. Here, there isn't even a competition. The MacBook Air wins hands down due to the size and the perfection that they've achieved over the years. And Surface Pro touchpad, it's come a long way. It's definitely better than the Surface Pro 2 type cover for sure, but it's nowhere close to the MacBook Air touchpad. On the other hand, the entire screen is a touchscreen, so that's where the MacBook Air falls behind. And you know, it would make them almost at an even playing ground with regards to touch and access of maneuvering around different parts of the screen. Obviously, MacBook Air not having the touchscreen capability would feel a lot more primitive for sure. Compared to the Surface Pro 3, Surface Pro 2 is a monolithic device, really. It's thick, it's heavy, the screen is small, difficult to look at, the touchpad is minute, almost to a point of completely unusable. Yeah, what else is there to say? Big improvements. The power connector slot seems really simple, but on Pro 2 it was a pain. It was seriously a pain to just connect the charger. They've made a significant improvement by making it a lot easier. And they move around the ports a little bit, the display port area, and then the USB ports on the side. They moved it around a little bit. I think it's all for the better. Keeping everything on one side makes, you know, life a little easier if you're going to be connecting different stuff to it. The Surface Pro 3 and the iPad, a lot of people compare them, including Microsoft itself. Don't even bother. It just doesn't make sense at all. iPad is a great media consumption device. That's just simply amazing. And the Surface Pro 3 will be a workhorse. This workhorse can't be compared to the iPad at all. The closest comparison you're gonna get in the tablet realm against the Surface Pro 3 is going to be the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 12.2. Again, you have to be stupid to buy the Samsung at this point. With the Surface pricing, it just makes sense for you to just jump onto the Surface wagon, even though it has several different, you know, issues. You know, it's not a tablet. Let's just put it that way. Surface Pro 3 lacks the basic functions of a tablet that you would expect them to have. From the simplest issues as calendar, this thing does not sync with Google. What's the deal with that, Microsoft? Seriously, it's been how many iterations of the product already, huh? Like, it's just not a tablet. If you want to use it as a laptop with this touch functionality that is kick-ass, Surface Pro 3 is the device for you. But if you're trying to replace your tablet, not really the right device, because you can't get simple information easily. That's it. Now, let's turn this baby on. And it is starting. Oh, by the way, I really appreciate Microsoft moving the Windows button to the right hand side. It really didn't make sense when it was at the bottom, because at the end of the day, you're holding it in a landscape mode, and you're mostly holding it with your right hand or your left hand, and your thumb tends to go to the right hand side anyways. So let's get this started. English, yes. Time zone is East Coast. Yes, I accept. I don't know where the light is supposed to be. Oh, there we go. There was the light. Alright, now that we're all set up, we're all good. It's a pretty great device. One other thing that I noticed while I was waiting for the device to get set up is the size of the power adapter. The brick has gotten significantly smaller. Check it out. It's like way thinner, and that's great. That's really great. I'm gonna do another comparison and a proper review in about a week, and see you next week.